First up, let's go through the parts. This is the filter housing wrench. These are a couple of spare filters. You've got your hand net filter here. That comes in two parts, the top and the bottom, they screw together. We've got our large seals here and our smaller seals. Not all of these are necessary, most of them are spare parts. These are adapters in case you're using a different tub or hoses. And then we've got these elbows here. So this is good for when you're using the tub placed hard up against a wall so you don't have to kink the hoses. So what you'll do is you'll place the threaded end here straight into the tub, and then the other end is where we're going to put the blue valve. So we screw that into there, and then we attach the hose to the other end of that. Now we have some thread tape. You'll only need to use this if you're having trouble getting a seal on the threads. And of course we have our hoses. So get the hose end and just check in each end to make sure there is a seal sitting in there. They should be in there, but if they're not, just grab one of the spares and pop it in. First thing we're going to do is we're going to assemble the hand net filter. Now first we're going to pull out the strainer here and just check inside we've got a little seal in there. If you don't have one, just reach out and we'll supply you with one. Pop that in until you feel it click, and then you can screw the top end straight onto there. Now it's really good practice to make sure you clean this hand net strainer every 1 to 2 weeks for optimal flow. This will make sure your water is chilling as fast as possible. The next step is we're going to attach the hand net filter to the inlet down the bottom here, but first we're going to grab one of the spare large seals and place it over the thread there. We don't need to do this on the outlet, only on the inlet. The next step is to screw on the hand net filter. So just take it apart by screwing off the top section here, and now we're going to screw this bottom thread onto the inlet here. There's no need to over crank this here, just get it nice and hand tight, just so that we can screw the next section on so it doesn't clash with that fan guard there. So we screw this on, and then you can tighten it a little bit further. It doesn't matter what position this is in, it can be up or down or whatever, just make sure it's a little bit tight so we can create a nice seal. Now we're going to check the seal is in place on the filter housing on the side here. Now this filter on the side, while we can clean it, we do recommend changing it over every 2 to 4 weeks to keep the water flowing and the water chilling nice and fast. So you can see the O-ring which just sits inside this rim here. Make sure that's there. If it's not, reach out and we'll supply you with one. So you can pop the filter in and then screw it back up. Now we can use the wrench to just tighten it a little bit much. Don't over crank it, just enough to get it nice and firm. Now it's time to connect the hoses. So we connect the hose from the top port on the back of the tub to the outlet on the chiller here, and the bottom port on the back of the tub to the inlet on the back of the chiller here. Now there's no need to add any additional seals here, just connect the hoses straight up. It's important to make sure the tub is filled to the max line before you turn the chiller on for the first time. All of the gravity is going to help push all the air out of the system for the first time to help it get primed. So make sure it's filled right to the top of that max line. Thanks for watching the quick setup guide. If you have any more questions, please email us at support@thedope.com.au and we'll guide you through.